I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy. Day we hustle, but the night we OG boy. Know that they ride or die.
Hi guys. So I'm here directly in Nairobi CBD, and today we are doing something new. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned until to the end, because I'm sharing tips on how you can travel locally and explore the Matatu culture in Kenya on a safe way. I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy. Day we hustle, but the night we OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. OG boy. Day we hustle, but the night we boys by my side. OG boy. Know that they ride or die. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. So I'm actually here right now inside one of these Matatus, and right now we got lucky because the owners, they switched off the music so that we have a few minutes to record. So I'm here with Virginia. She's my local guide for today to take me around with the Matatus, because as a solo traveler it's not always easy to travel, especially to travel local. So it's always good to have someone who knows the rules, who knows how to go around and all these things. So I mean, I'm not new in Nairobi. As you guys know, I've been staying here for like 7 years now. So I have quite some experience, also some stories to tell about Matatus. I used to go with the Matatus all the time when I used to live back in Thika, like for 4 years. But nowadays, because of COVID, I don't really go with the Matatus anymore, but I'm here today for you. So, and one of the biggest learnings I had is actually about money. So if you carry money here, you have to carry cash. And now, of course, as travelers, we always have 1,000 Kenyan shilling. We have big money. So these notes don't really help you here. So you need small cash. Because here, the problem we have, or the problem I face, especially as a Muzungu, how they call us, as a white person traveling, they might want to overcharge you, number one. Or if you pay with 1,000, they simply don't have change. So what they do is they tell you, I'm sorry, we don't have change. So they might want to keep the money, or if they want to give it to you, then they don't give you the actual amount back. Like for example, it's 100 shilling or 50 shillings, but they will charge you double or triple of the price. So it's always good to confirm with locals around, even if you're traveling alone. There are so many people, even inside the bus, of course. Ask them, how much is it? Or even in front, like outside, it's written on top, or when they go inside, they usually say it. Of course, they say it in their own language, in their local language, which you might not understand. But confirm the price with other people before you enter, just to make sure that you don't get overcharged.
Most of the time, maybe when you're in this matatu or when you're in these buses and your windows are open and you're just probably just scrolling your phone, someone might just get in through the open window and snatch your phone away. So it's very important for you when you get in the matatu, when you sit near a window, make sure it's closed. Or if you need the fresh air, you put your phone away so that no one actually can snatch it away from you.
So another thing that I learned, I mean now this one here are the big Matatus, the big buses, but there are also the small ones. And this one I learned on the hard way, like never go in an empty Matatu and drive with it alone, especially as a white person traveling in Kenya. So I once had a really bad experience where they stole my phone and my laptop at once, my whole bag in the Matatu. They basically dropped me out. So after that I decided never ever do that again. So if you realize you're the only one in the Matatu and they start driving, get out. Another thing is, which we might don't know, because where I come from, all the buses, they drive on schedule, which means like at 2 p.m. for example, they go. Here in Kenya, it works differently. So which means the bus goes when it is full. There's nothing like, okay, we drive in 5 minutes, we go in 10 minutes. So if you enter an empty big bus, it's possible that you might wait for half an hour or maybe 1 hour. But also during rush hour, the buses can go full very, very fast. You might even find people queuing, like they wait there for half an hour to just get into the bus. Yeah, another thing which I wanted to talk about is that Matatus, we call them here the king of the roads, which is very easy to see, and you will know why, because the moment you are actually outside or you are even inside a Matatu, you will see that Matatus, they go with crazy speed or they overtake, and somehow they are the ones who rule the roads. So even if you are a driver or a bike driver or in the car, I would just let the Matatu go first. Because they will make their way somewhere and they always get what they want. So the question if it's safe or not is actually a tricky question for me personally to answer. I think a lot of road accidents happen, but they happen everywhere, even if you take a cab, even if you go with Uber, worse even with a motorbike. I think if you want to travel local, like if you're a volunteer and you stay here for a while, it's really worth it to get used to Matatus because it's simplest, the cheapest. And they take you, like especially on long distances, they take you from A to B on a very low budget price. So that's why when I used to volunteer in the organization, woo! I think now we are starting, I hope not. I used to take the Matatu all the time, but nowadays that I have more money, I have a different job, I live in Nairobi and now it's COVID, I don't really take Matatus anymore. So it's really up to you if you want to do it. But that's why I found it so interesting that there's on Airbnb that experience where you can actually go with someone, she's just here, who takes you around and make sure that you're safe, especially for a starter. Like if you're new here and you want to take it and maybe you're coming as a volunteer, go with her once, get the experience. She will teach you the simplest rules, how to do it, how to be safe. And then from there you can do it yourself if you like it. Okay guys, say hi.
Hi guys.
So we have a lot of fans, a lot of followers today. That is good because I know a lot of Kenyans as well follow me. So you might find yourself today in this video. Okay, jokes aside. Yes. So if you like this video and you think it's helpful, give it a like, share it with your friends. And if you have more questions, just comment down below. And yeah, check out the video for the other Airbnb experiences. Very important. So that you get to know, like when you're in Nairobi, what else you can do while traveling in Nairobi. Not only going to Giraffe Center or David Chattering. Do something unique, like something which other travelers might not know about. So check out this video. And then I see you in my next video.